We are Central High School, and this is our submission for SAMHSA's Emotional Wellbeing Challenge. My name is Bogdal.
My name is Buyurgan.
I'm Ethan Dang.
I'm Gosnell.
Our topic is going to cover mental health and specifically normalizing mental health in middle schoolers.
Middle school students are a part of the next generation that will face mental health challenges. This age group is particularly vulnerable to mental health issues due to their developmental stage during puberty. Many middle schoolers struggle to identify mental health problems and take preventative measures. Additionally, they often find it difficult to understand that seeking for help is not something to be ashamed of, and that mental health can be effectively managed. It is essential to normalize conversations about mental health and help these individuals recognize its importance. By doing so, they can learn to cope with stress and other factors that can contribute to mental health issues. This can further help them find treatment for mental health in the future and help find other people in their generation to again find treatment and seek professional help from therapists or psychologists. This is why we want to focus on middle schoolers and normalizing mental health in middle schoolers. Our project, our problem statement was how many middle schoolers are not aware of what mental health is, and then as a result aren't able to normalize mental health. This is not only furthered by negative stigma on mental health, making them avoid mental health entirely as a topic and being diagnosed with mental health as they are scared of it and humiliated by it, mostly thinking that their peers will either bully them or not be supportive once they do actually find treatment for mental health. As a result, again, this normalization does not occur, leading to further issues once they hit high school. We have seen this personally in not only our lives, but in the lives of others in our high school, which is again a mix of middle school and high school, where these middle schoolers who do grow up to get into our high school, they do not officially understand what mental health is, aren't able to normalize it in their generation, and then in high school find trouble getting treatment because they're unable to understand what mental health truly is and just think it is stressed by school. Mental health by the World Health Organization is defined as a state of well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realizing their abilities to learn well and work well and contribute to their community. Though this is a general definition, we found that this definition well exhibited what we wanted to what knowledge we wanted to transfer to the students.
So who is the target audience? Our target audience is middle school students. We selected this because they are a population who is vulnerable to mental health since they're growing and changing. They're in a new environment where new connections and friendships are constantly being built, and it's the first glimpse that they're having into their adult lives. So they need to learn how to handle their mental health for whenever they're older. Additionally, not being taught what mental health is in elementary school can lead to them having trouble opening up and learning how to handle mental issues. Additionally, social and friend pressures can cause them to feel influenced to do things they wouldn't want to do, like peer pressure. What are our goals and objectives? So we have seen firsthand what the effects of mental health problems are on middle schoolers because we go to school with them. And additionally, we've gone through these experiences ourselves recently. Because of this, our goals are to give middle schoolers an understanding of what mental health is and give them the ability to recognize mental health issues early so they can help to handle them. Additionally, we want to help connect them with resources to help them further down the line when there is a problem that arises. And we want to help them understand that mental health is not something to be ashamed or humiliated about, but something that just needs to be handled. Our objectives are to increase awareness, increase normalization, connect them with resources if this is a necessary step, and we're going to do this through our presentation and our pre-test and post-test.
While making our presentation, we found that finding statistics related to mental health in our target audience was essential to help our target audience connect to the more worldwide generation of middle schoolers, to help them understand the effects of mental health and how worldwide or generalized they actually are. One statistic that we found was now only 55% of public schools offer diagnostic mental health assessments, and even fewer provide treatments being 42% of K to 12 schools offer treatment through counseling. This is essential for understanding how limited treatment is for mental health in these middle schoolers and high schoolers. And through this, having them understand what mental health is, and then again finding that treatment is so limited that it is very close to impossible. And finding a way to break this, which is why we wanted to focus on this project or this topic. Finding a way to break this will allow these middle schoolers to, in the future, get this treatment, to seek treatment, and normalize that throughout their generation, helping each other build this idea of a together community to fight against mental health.
In any effort to try and accomplish something, there are often barriers associated with those sort of efforts. In our case, for the normalization process of mental health, these barriers can be seen through various topics such as lack of mental health education, where students are not exposed to lots of awareness for mental health resources, or are very aware that there are underlying mental health conditions that may run among them or people they know. There are also developmental challenges that are present in the barriers to the normalization process. There are also challenges faced within stigma and social pressure, and this is heavily influenced by digital and social media, as students are less likely to speak out about their mental health because of the social barriers and the social pressures that are placed upon them, as mental health in the middle school environment is frequently frowned upon or overlooked and ignored.
In our presentation, we went over general treatment options for mental health to help normalize discussion around it. We also wanted to highlight specific procedures as well as more general ones too. We also wanted to highlight prevention measures for mental health disorders to help our target audience, who are especially important as their brains are still developing. So we showed them risk factors and protective factors, such as protecting your physical health, to further emphasize the connection between our brains and our bodies.
In our presentation, we had also talked about various contacts that our target audience could reach out to in the case that they needed help, whether it was for themselves or another individual. These contacts are both national and local, and they run through very many specific niches. Some examples of the contacts that we had presented about are 988, which is the National Suicide Hotline, and the SAMHSA National Hotline.
We presented a story during our presentation to give students a real-life example of mental health. We used it to connect with our middle schoolers and engage them during our presentation. This helped them to practice identifying real-life symptoms in a serious situation. It also helped us to interact with our target group to help them remember the information better.
The Scholars Program is the program that we have been discussing, the middle school program that is connected to our high school. This program specifically takes gifted students in the SBS or Springfield Public Schools district and puts them and allows them to be in a high school environment early on in middle school. This not only causes a lot of stress on these middle school students, as they are not only taking high school classes at a very young age, but they are also going through the developmental process of puberty in a high school situation where most of the other high school students have gone through that middle school experience. Unlike them. As a result, we have found that in recent years, again due to COVID and coming out of COVID, these middle schoolers, when they do transition to high school, do find treatment for mental health issues. This is usually because they develop mental health issues in middle school and have trouble identifying those. But once they do start to get help from either their friends in high school or teachers in high school, they are able to get professional help and treatment through that in high school. As a result, we wanted to focus on the scholars population in our school. Not only is this a population that we can consistently access and talk to, as we did in our presentations, but we could also see how our presentation affected them on a long-term basis, either in 2026 and further on, as we continue to grow with that middle school generation as they move up to high school. In our presentations, we tried to hit as many age groups or grade groups in our scholars program. They consist of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We hit more 8th graders than 6th and 7th. This is usually just due to scheduling in our school. we were able to hit quite a few. The program usually consists of around 100 students or more, this including 8th graders, 7th graders, and 6th graders, and through this we were able to hit around 9.
HSA is a program sponsored by the school district which allows 8th graders from across the district to go to Mercy Hospital and navigate the 8th grade curriculum with an emphasis on project-based learning and interaction with the healthcare system. In our presentation, we presented to 20 students from HSA.
The evaluation tool that we had used in our presentation was a Google form in which participants were asked to take it before they had received their presentation and after they had received their presentation. 50% of our recipients were 8th graders, and also 50% of them seemed to lack the proper understanding of the definition for mental health. There also seems to be confusion between any mental health disorder and serious mental health disorders as defined in our presentation. Many of them were also unaware of current mental health trends in the most recent years, as mental health illness and tracking is on a progressive upward trend. It is also seen here that commonly they had recognized that 12 plus hours of sleep was a sign of healthy mental health, even though it is the opposite. Another factor we want to point out here is that 988 is the most commonly known mental health resource, but they were unaware of more local, more specific resources that could better benefit them. As you can see from the post-test data here, the participants showed a substantial growth in their understanding of mental health, not only recent mental health trends, but also the definition of mental health. Can also be seen that participants can more clearly define what is any mental health disorder and what is serious mental health disorder. And there is an overall increase of awareness for all of the local and national mental health resources that the participants can use and reach out to if needed.
I would like to go into neurosurgery in the future. In neurosurgery, as it is surgery on the brain itself, mental health is a huge cause of damage, not only to the brain, but constant stress and long-term mental health issues that are not treated in any way can cause, again, physical damage on the brain. Not only will this cause stress in my future as a neurosurgeon, giving me more work or more patients who not only do not understand mental health, but will not seek treatment because it is not normalized. As a result, normalizing this mental health in this new generation of middle schoolers will not only help me better treat my patients, but further this treatment to a new level and help me provide research that enhances treatment because this is because this will become a normalized thing in the field. Thank you.
And challenge has provided me with many opportunities to reach out to local middle schoolers and to communicate my ideas and to communicate information about the healthcare field. I believe that communication is a skill that is very lacking in the healthcare field and that many individuals could benefit from better communication, and this challenge has allowed me to better express my ideas and to better raise awareness about many mental health issues.
Ethan.
Mental health can have adverse effects all over the body, so it's important to understand how the different mental disorders can affect the different body systems. No matter what medical field I choose to go into, it's important for me to understand that mental health doesn't just affect the mind, it affects the whole body. It'll help me to treat my patients more effectively because I'll understand that not all symptoms have a physical cause.
So I want to go into physical therapy, and in physical therapy it is especially important to recognize the mental health side of recovery, and having a generation that has normalized mental health will allow us to provide the best possible care to any patients.
Our project focused on normalizing mental health in middle schoolers, and through data and our pre and post test as our evaluation, we believe that we have effectively done that in our scholars community or in our middle school community, not only focusing again on the scholars, but the HSA students as well, which make up a large majority of our middle school community in Springfield, Missouri. We think that is again essential to normalize mental health, to then have better conversations and treatments and preventions on mental health in the future, as normalizing mental health will be the stepping stone to allowing for patients or future patients, these middle schooler generations, to find treatment or find medical help for diagnosing mental health issues. Thank you.